Welcome back to our virtual book tastings for National Library Week. This is the young adult version. Now these are going to be a little bit longer than our previous junior fiction and early chapter ones, just because as we get into the older books, the prologues are a little longer. So here we go to our first book, Code of Honor by Alan Gratz. Alan Gratz writes a lot of good books for kids who like kind of history and whatnot. Boys especially seem to really like him. Code of Honor. A crash like a linebacker colliding with a quarterback woke me, and I shot straight up in bed. I blinked at the clock beside me, trying to make sense of the world. Red numbers glowed in the darkness. 3:23. It was 3:23 in the morning. Why was I awake at 3:23 in the morning? Had I dreamed the crashing sound? "Cameron," my mother called from down the hall. "Cameron, was that you? Are you all right?" Thunder. No. Footsteps. Feet pounding down the hall. Someone was coming for me. Half-remembered childhood nightmares seized me, and I scrambled backward across the bed in a panic, trying to get away from Voldemort, the Joker, the aliens, the demons. I fell on the floor with a thump, the bed covers coming with me. My legs were tangled in them. I couldn't kick free. And then they were there. Dark shapes surged into my room, black on black silhouettes with hulking shoulders and big red round eyes that flashed. My fear made me 5 again. I curled up against the side of the bed like I was playing hide and seek with my older brother, Darius, hoping he wouldn't see me. But the demons knew where I was. They homed in on me like guided missiles. Rough hands grabbed me, hauled me to my feet, threw me face first on the bed. Somewhere remotely I heard my mother scream, heard my father cry out. The demons had come for them too. "Mom! Dad!" I cried. I kicked and squirmed, trying to get away, but my arms were wrenched behind me and bound with a plastic zip tie that cut into my wrists. The hands pulled me up again, and I read the words on one of my captors' uniforms. Police. Homeland Security. Reality finally overrode my half-awake nightmares. No, Darius is innocent," I cried. "He's not a terrorist. You don't understand. They're making him do everything." The DHS agents wrangled a thick bag over my head, and the already dark room went completely black. "No, please don't," I yelled. The black bag was close, suffocating. My hot breath was damp on my face, and I started to panic. "You can't do this. I was born in America. I'm an American citizen." The DHS agents ignored my protest. I kicked and thrashed as they dragged me from my room, down the hall and out through the front door. A few days ago, all I had cared about was winning the homecoming game, getting into college, going on a date with Julia Gary. Normal high school senior stuff. A few days ago, I had been king of the world. Now, I was a prisoner of the United States of America. So like I said, Alan Gratz writes a lot of good books, especially for boys. So check that one out. Our next book is 13 by James Fallon. And this is part of a series called The Last 13, and this is book 1. Breaking news. In recent weeks, a group has emerged with what can perhaps be described as a special gift or ability. Their dreams come true. Although unaware of it now, these individuals will not only save the world, but change it forever. They are our last hope in a battle of good versus evil. This transformation from ordinary to extraordinary, this journey will not occur overnight. Every story has a beginning. And so this series follows one child in the 13 of these children. So a good story, and not very long. Good stories, not very long. Our next book is I Was Here by Gail Foreman. The day after Meg died, I received this letter. "I regret to inform you that I have had to take my own life. This decision has been a long time coming and was mine alone to make. I know it will cause you pain, and for that I am sorry, but please know that I needed to end my own pain. This has nothing to do with you and everything to do with me. It's not your fault. Meg." She emailed copies of the letter to her parents and to me. and to the Tacoma Police Department, along with another note informing them which motel she was at, which room she was in, what poison she had ingested, and how her body should be safely handled. On the pillow at the motel room was another note, instructing the maid to call the police and not touch her body, along with a $50 tip. She sent the emails on a time delay, so that she would be long gone by the time we received them. Of course, I didn't know any of that until later, so when I first read Meg's email on the computer at our town's public library, I thought it had to be some kind of joke or a hoax. I called Meg, and when she didn't answer, I called her parents. "Did you get Meg's email?" I asked them. "What email?" So this one sounds really, really dark. Young adult books, they start to delve into some of these darker issues, but there is some suspense, and for teenagers, hopefully this will be a book that they will like. Between Shades of Grey by Retta Septis. Now, she has kind of broken into the historical fiction young adult genre recently, and a lot of people, especially even adults, really like her books. So this is Between Shades of Grey. They took me in my nightgown. Thinking back, the signs were there. Family photos burned in the fireplace, Mother sewing her best silver and jewelry into the lining of her coat late at night, and Papa not returning from work. My younger brother, Jonas, was asking questions. I asked questions too, but perhaps I refused to acknowledge the signs. Only later did I realize that Mother and Father intended we escape. We did not escape. We were taken. June 14th, 1941. I had changed into my nightgown and settled at my desk to write my cousin Joanna a letter. I opened the new ivory writing tablet and a case of pens and pencils, a gift from my aunt for my 15th birthday. The evening breeze floated through the open window over my desk, waltzing the curtain from side to side. I could smell the lily of the valley that Mother and I had planted 2 years ago. Dear Joanna. It wasn't a knocking. It was an urgent booming that made me jump in my chair. Fists pounded on our front door. No one stirred inside the house. I left my desk and peered out into the hallway. My mother stood flat against the wall, facing our framed map of Lithuania. Her eyes closed and her face pulled with anxiety I had never seen. She was praying. "Mother," said Jonas, only one of his eyes visible through the crack in his door. "Are you going to open it? It sounds as if they might break it down." Mother's head turned to see both Jonas and me peering out of our rooms. She attempted a forced smile. "Yes, darling, I will open the door. I won't let anyone break down our door." The heels of her shoes echoed down the wooden floor of the hallway, and her long, thin skirt swayed about her ankles. Mother was elegant and beautiful, stunning in fact, with an unusually wide smile that lit up everything around her. I was fortunate to have Mother's honey-colored hair and her bright blue eyes. Jonas had her smile. Loud voices thundered from the foyer. "In KVD," whispered Jonas, growing pale. "Tadas said they took his neighbors away in a truck. They're arresting people." "No, not here," I replied. "The Soviet secret police had no business at our house." I walked down the hallway to listen and peeked through the corner. Jonas was right. 3 NKVD officers had Mother encircled. They wore blue hats with a red border and a gold star above the brim. A tall officer had our passports in his hand. "We need more time. We will be ready in the morning," Mother said. 20 minutes, or you won't live to see morning," said the officer. "Please lower your voice. I have children," whispered Mother. 20 minutes, the officer barked. He threw his burning cigarette onto our clean living room floor and ground it into the wood with his boot. We were about to become cigarettes. So she's become such a great storyteller of historical fiction. So that concludes our young adult version of virtual book tasting. I hope you have found one that you like. Feel free to call us or go to our online catalog and place some of these titles on hold, on reserve for you. All right, thank you again.